Comrades, Comrade President, other leaders on the dais, and comrades who are participating in this 2-day-long study class organized by All India Committee of AIKKMS on the development of capitalism in Indian agriculture. Comrade Girish of Andhra, Comrade Aziz of Kerala, and Comrade Sunit Kumar of Karnataka, all three important leaders of All India AIKKMS have presented three beautiful evaluation on three subjects, namely the land relation in Nizam Shahi, Hyderabad, land relation of Kerala before independence, and land relation of Karnataka before independence. They presented their evaluation, their assessment on the situation very beautifully. And in the beginning, President of our organization, Comrade Sattyavanji, he placed before you a beautiful short inaugural speech where he described the condition of the agricultural community of our country and the possibility of building class and mass struggle by the peasants and agricultural workers of our country in the coming days. Comrade, I would like to divide my speech in three parts. Today in the first part, I will deliver development of capitalism in Indian agriculture before independence, and tomorrow morning session I will place before you the development and attack of capitalism on Indian agriculture, on Indian peasantry by the capitalist ruling class after independence up till now. And in the concluding session, I shall place before you the task of the peasant workers and how AIKKMS All India Committee, we all are trying to build up country-wide peasant movement. What is our planning? What goal we want to achieve? And what we all are trying collectively, viewing this noble task bestowed on us by the great leader of the proletariat, Comrade Shivdar Ghosh. We are all the followers of Comrade Shivdar Ghosh. So keeping in mind his teaching, KKMS, AIKKMS will go forward to achieve its ultimate victory. Comrades, we know in this land Britishers, not British imperialism, mind it. There is a difference between the rule of the British and the rule of the British imperialists. There is a difference in between these two. The Britishers established their rule first in Bengal, and after that Bengal means Bengal Presidency. Bengal Presidency means Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. And after that Madras Presidency. They established their rule. They captured state power in these two areas first and tried to consolidate their rule in these areas. After that, the rule of the Britishers expanded to the westward, expanded. You know, in Karnataka, the rule of Tipu ended in 1799, and after that, in Karnataka, the rule of the Britishers practically established, and lastly, the rule of the Britishers established in Punjab when they defeated the son of Ranjit Singh, Punjab. So, Britishers could not establish their rule in India at one stroke. Gradually, they first established their rule in Bengal Presidency and Madras Presidency, and then continuously to westward and southward, and after that to northern west portion of India. They grabbed and captured. So it is clear that Britishers could not establish their economic system, their economic agenda at one stroke on all the parts of India. They first established their rule in Bengal Presidency, and that's why primarily on this particular point, the development of capitalism in India before independence, primarily I like to discuss what plans and policies British capital at that period, East India Company, at that period mercantile capitalism of Great Britain, at that period the capital of Great Britain was mercantile in nature, not of industrial capital formed in Great Britain. Mercantile capitalism formed in Great Britain. That mercantile capitalism formed a company called East India Company, and that East India Company established its rule in Bengal Presidency. This East India Company, you have to bear in mind that the first rule of Great Britain in India is practically a rule of a company, and that is East India Company. A company means it has many shareholders. It has many shareholders, this company. And what is the nature of that company? At that period in England practically produced nothing. England was a very poor country, produced nothing except wool. England at that period, say 1750, 1740, 1750, 1730, practically England produced nothing except wool. So we have nothing to buy from England. We have nothing to buy from England. England had no commodity to sell us. England had no commodity to sell us. So what was the nature of trade and commerce with India? Trade and commerce in India, particularly with Bengal, particularly with southern India. Vasco da Gama came in the Calicut. In Calicut of Abdul Aziz. Abdul Aziz received Vasco da Gama and Calicut port in 1498, most probably, if I am not mistaken, 1498. After that, Britishers came to Bengal. For what purpose? Britishers came not to sell, comrade. They had no commodity to sell. Then why they came? They came to purchase. They came to purchase. East India Company came to purchase India, came to purchase Bengal, came to purchase Madras Presidency, to purchase our indigenous produce, like our cotton, like our muslin, like our steel, like our spices, and so forth, so many things. Our ancestors at that period had many things to sell to the Britishers, to the Dutch, to the Portuguese, to the Hollanders, to the Spanish, to the French. All the mercantile capitalists from the different parts of Europe, they came to India to purchase our product. To purchase our product. In the beginning, our ancestors, mercantile capitalists of India, mercantile capitalists of India was very much developed than England. They traded with Europe, our mercantile capitalists. And what was the route of trade and commerce? Through Arab, to Turkey, to Byzantine, to Italy, to Constantinople. This was the route. But when there was a war in this area, this route disturbed. This route disturbed. So the European merchants tried to invent an alternative route. And that's why so many expeditions from Portugal and Spain And as a result of that, Vasco da Gama invented a new sea route. And 1498, he arrived at Calicut. A new sea route opened up a new possibilities, opened the possibilities of trade and commerce. So, initially, what was the relation between India and Europe? Relation was, we are the giver, we are the exporter, and they were the importer. We, India, were the exporter, and they were the importer. We sell and they purchase. We sell, they purchase. And what was the contradiction in between the different European forces? Who will buy? Who will buy? Who will purchase? That was their competition. That was the competition. This was the scenario. This was the scenario when East India, rule of the East India Company established in Bengal. This was the scenario. Comrades, now the question is, how the East India Company captured power? How? Out of nothing, East India Company came from outside and defeated our kings and nobles. Is it fact? Was it a fact? No. You already came to know that in this land, in Bengal particularly, a powerful mercantile capitalism developed. A powerful mercantile capitalism developed in Bengal, in Deccan, southern India, in western part of India. A powerful mercantile capitalism developed. And what was the character of this mercantile capitalism? Mercantile capitalism inevitably enter into contradiction with the feudal state power. Definitely feudalism versus mercantile capitalism. Contradiction started. Feudal kings in Bengal particularly, they imposed heavy taxes on the mercantile capitalists of Bengal. And Bengal mercantile capitalists, they were continuously on the heaviest form of confrontation with the then kings and nobles of Bengal presidency. At that period, Mughal rule was weakened a lot. The kings of Bengal practically a sovereign. Not sovereign, but practically sovereign. So a continuous contradiction of mercantile capitalism of Bengal presidency with the kings of Murshidabad. And at the time of Siraj-ud-Dawla, this contradiction reached its peak. So what the mercantile capitalism of Bengal did? This mercantile capitalism of Bengal under the leadership of Jagat Seth and Umi Chand. Jagat Seth, Mughal king Farrukh Shah at that period, Mughal king Farooq Shah conferred this title a man, Jagat Seth of the world, banker of the world. This Jagat Seth, the leader of the mercantile capitalism of Bengal, with the help of Umi Chand, another banker of Bengal, and the mercantile capitalists of Bengal presidency, they connived with another mercantile capitalist of Britain, East India Company. They joined hands with each other. What was the object of Bengal mercantile capitalism? To join hands with the East India Company. They thought, if we can dethrone Siraj-ud-Dawla from power, then tax burden which Siraj-ud-Dawla imposed on us will be lessened and our business will be flourished. That was their calculation. But in history, this was a blunder on the part of the Bengal mercantile capitalists. This was a historic blunder Bengal mercantile capitalists did. They failed to gauge, they failed to assess the power of the East India Company. They failed to assess the power of the East India Company. One day this East India Company will defeat them and drive them out from the market. They can't think in this way. They can't think in this way. At that period, East India Company was not so much powerful. They had a fort in Calcutta, which is called Fort William. Fort William was there. There are some thousands military men there, and they started trade and commerce in different parts of India. As a junior partner, they always said, sir, to Jagat Seth. And Jagat Seth thought, Umi Chand thought, Rai Durlabh thought that this East India Company will be our junior partner. But they will not do any harm. They will not be doing any harm. Our main enemy is Siraj-ud-Dawla. So we have to dethrone Siraj-ud-Dawla. So jointly they bribed the Shipah Salar. Shipah Salar means military chief, Mirzapur, Shipah Salar. The army chief of Siraj-ud-Dawla, Mirzapur, they bribed him. And as a result of that, in the year of 1757, in a battle at Plassey, a huge ground is there. There the battle took place. Siraj-ud-Dawla, Mirzapur, as the army chief, he stood still. He did not participate in the battle. With a minor force, with 3 to 4 cannons, Lord Clive, as the spokesperson of this joint front, Lord Clive won the battle, and Siraj-ud-Dawla defeated, and he was put to death by Mirzapur. And Mirzapur was on the throne. This is how the joint front of Indian mercantile capitalism with East India Company, British mercantile capitalism, they jointly dethroned Siraj-ud-Dawla. This is how East India Company captured the state power practically in Bengal. Now the comrades, you can easily understand, after capturing the state power, the East India Company usurped the trade and commerce of Bengal, root of trade and commerce. They usurped the source of production, that means the small scale production of Bengal. They usurped all these things and established a monopoly over the trade and commerce of Bengal. Comrade, always remember, Bengal means not only Bengal. Bengal means Bengal, Bihar and Odisha, Bengal Presidency. But the important question arose to the East India Company. There is a vast tract of land there, and that land was very much fertile. It is situated on the Gangetic Delta. Gangetic Delta, full of monsoon rain, full of rivers and canals. So its productivity is very high. What could we do with this huge tract of agricultural land situated in Bengal Presidency? They are the nation of Banias. East India Company's Bania means mercantile capitalists. They were very much alert on this question of what to do with this agricultural land. East India Company has not that capability at that period to control all the lands directly. They have no manpower, they have no administrative resources, they had no command over the people. They have only usurped the state power. But still, they lack in so many things. So what should be done? That was a question to the authority of the East India Company. And they took so many measures. Give the land for 1 year, give the land for Jamindars 5 years. There were Jamindars. These Jamindars is the feudal Jamindars. These Jamindars are feudal Jamindars. That means they were the only tax collectors. They were not the owner of the land. Jamindars of Siraj-ud-Dawla, Jamindars of British period, they were not the owner of the land. They only collect revenues, land revenues, and deposited to the exchequer, first exchequer of the Bangla Shuba, then from Bangla Shuba to Mughal Emperor. That was the system. That was the system. Those Jamindars were there. East India Company thought, let us distribute this vast tract of lands to that Jamindars. They started giving.
That land was under whom first?
I will say. Give that land. Give that land. First they distributed land for 1 year, but nobody was interested. Then distributed land for 5 years. Warren Hastings distributed land for 5 years. But the Jamindars were not interested. Not interested. Then Lord Cornwallis in 1793. That Lord Cornwallis in 1793, he decided that let there be an arrangement let there be a treaty between the East India Company and these jamindars, and that treaty is called permanent settlement. That treaty is called permanent settlement. In Bengali it is called Chirosthai Bandobasta, permanent settlement. This first permanent settlement, mind it, comrades, this first permanent settlement is the first treaty between East India Company and Indian landed gentry. This was the first treaty, arrangement, contract between East India Company and Indian landed gentry, which was called permanent settlement. The very important treaty and settlement and contract in between the two forces. Comrades, then what was the consequence of this permanent settlement? What was the consequence? Madhu, sit properly. Comrade, sit properly. What was the consequence of this permanent settlement? First, for the first time in India, land has gone in the hands of the jamindars. Jamindars became the owners of the land. This is a fundamental change. Before that, jamindars were not the proprietor of the land. Jamindars under Mughal regime, jamindars under Bengal Subedar, Nawab Ali Burdi Khan or Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla, they were merely the tax collectors, nothing more than that. Now, the jamindars under East India Company, they became the owner of the land. Who were the owner of the land? Who were the owner of the land? Jamindars were not the owner of the land. Then was it a fact that the kings were the owner of the land? No, the kings were not the owner of the land. Kings were not also the owners of the land. Shah Jahan wanted to establish a mosque. Shah Jahan had to purchase land.
Yes.
So who were the owner of the land? In Indian society, it is a very peculiar thing. And comrade, mind it, for this particular thing of India, casteism in India survived. Clear? If मौका मिले तो एक दिन कास्टिज्म पर हम डिस्कस करेंगे AIKKMS. Why casteism survived in India? This village community which did not disintegrate in India, this is one of the causes, not this whole causes. This is one of the important causes. This community ownership of land. Village as a whole. That is the community. Community was the owner. Practically, I was the member of the village. इसके पहले, before that, there was the Community means clan. Clan. What is the difference between clan and community, village? Clan means related by blood. Clan means related by blood. What is clan? Where sexual relation is prohibited. Clan is that type of human bonding where sexual relation is prohibited. No sexual relation is admitted in between the clans. But in the village, not only one clan, there may be different clans, may reside side by side. So, that village community or community as a whole was the owner of the land. They distributed the land among the different families. Family may till, family should till, family should plow, generation after generation. That was the fact. But still the family can't claim that I am the owner of this land. Land was the property of the village community. So that means the people say, leave it, whether the family was the owner of the land or not. Leave it, leave the question. It means the people at large was the owner of the not only land, but also river, but also jungles, but also everything, grazing land. All belongs to the people. There are lands, agricultural land, for which village community must pay revenue. But for grazing land, no revenue. For jungle, no revenue. No revenue. For barren land, no revenue. No revenue land was there also. So land belongs to the people at large. Belongs to the people at large. But in the case of permanent settlement, Britishers with one stroke of their pen demolished and destroyed the age-old conception and right over the land, destroyed completely. That was the first fundamental change of century, age-old land relation in India. This is the first important point, comrade, you should bear in mind. Second thing, before this permanent settlement, what was the nature of revenue? Jomindars were the collector of revenue. What I said earlier, Jomindars were the collector of revenues. What they collected? What Tipu collected? Tipu did not collect revenue from the peasants. This is not fact. If it is so, then how Tipu's building erected? Agricultural land was the main source of revenue. So what was the nature of revenue? There was the nature 1/6 of total produce, 1/4 of total revenue, total produce. Chauthi, Shothi, this was there. That means if your produce is low, you have to pay less. If your produce is high, then you have to pay more. If you fail to yield anything, then you will not be entitled to pay. Say, from 1 bigha of land, you produce 12 quintal. 1/4 is the revenue. Then you have to pay 3 quintal. If you produce 8, then you have to pay 2 quintal. If you fail to produce anything, then you will not be able to revenue. This was the system. First, according to the ratio of production, you have to pay revenue. First thing. Second thing is this, you have to deposit your revenue in kind. Before that, you have to deposit your revenue in kind. You produced 12 quintal of rice. 1/4 is the revenue. Then you have to give 3 quintal of rice. In rice, you have to pay. But what the Britishers, what the East India Company said in its permanent settlement, East India Company formulated that I have no relation what you produce, how you produce, whether you produce or not. I have no concern over that thing. You have to pay 100 rupees per acre. Suppose it is my 100 rupees per acre. You have to deposit to the treasury. Whether you produce or not, you have to produce. You have to deposit 100 rupees per acre. You may produce, you may not produce. First, so revenue is fixed. First, revenue is fixed. Second, revenue is not in kind, but in
Cash.
but in money. These two great important changes, permanent settlement brought in the life of our country. These two important fundamental change brought, East India Company brought in the lives of the rural people of Bengal.
Yes.
Comrade, can you understand? Are you feeling interested? Are you feeling interested? It's a very, thank you. Now, comrade, what was its impact? I have already mentioned two important features of permanent settlement. Jamindars became the owner of the land. And what was the contract between Jamindars and the East India Company? East India Company said, you Jamindars, you are the owner of this vast area of land and you are to deposit this sum of money in the treasury of the East India Company. Say 1 lakh rupees per month. 1 lakh rupees, say, per month. And what these Jamindars did, say, Jamindars divided its Jamindari within 10 parts. They termed it as taluk. And they said, do you want this land? Do you want to be a talukdar, owner of this taluk? Then you have to pay me 20,000 rupees per year. Then 10 taluks into 20,000 is 2 lakhs. I will deposit 1 lakh and 1 lakh is for mine. 1 lakh for mine. So what these Jamindars did? What he did, say in terms of economy, what he did, he did business. He did business. He invested 1 lakh rupees and profited 1 lakh rupees. Then was that Jamindar a feudal Jamindar? So what type of Jamindar he is? What type of Jamindar this Jamindar is? What type of Jamindar he is? What type of capitalist?
Mercantile.
No mercantile.
Business trade Jamindar.
This is called comprador capitalist. These Jamindars were nothing but the comprador capitalist. Who were those Jamindars? From where these Jamindars came? Say, you know the famous Rabindranath Tagore? Rabindranath Tagore was a Jamindar. Rabindranath's father Devendranath Tagore was a Jamindar. Devendranath Tagore's father Dwarkanath Tagore was also a Jamindar. Was Dwarkanath Tagore a feudal Jamindar? Was Devendranath Tagore a feudal Jamindar? Was Rabindranath Tagore a feudal Jamindar? No. So where those Jamindars came? These Jamindars resides in the town, engaged in trade and commerce with the East India Company, amassed some money and purchased Jamindari in Bengal. So Marx said, in his notes on India, Marx said, in 1853, Marx said, what these Jamindars are? These Jamindars are nothing but the absentee landlord, and they are the traders, they are the businessmen of town. Businessmen of town invested capital to purchase Jamindari for maximum profit. This what is the character of these talukdars? They also comprador capitalist. Talukdars also divided its taluk, say within 10 parts. He had to pay 20,000 and he divided his taluk, termed it as Jot, had created Jotdar, and you have to pay me 5,000 rupees per year. 5,000 into 10, 50,000, 20,000 deposited, 30,000. In this way, in Bengal, there are 7 to 8 stages. This system is called Madhya Sattva, middle proprietorship of Chirosthayi Bandobast, permanent settlement.
Middle proprietor.
Middle proprietorship within permanent settlement. A class of people in the rural areas formed who are comprador capitalists in nature, not feudal, comprador capitalists in nature, who are the very friendly relation with the British mercantile capitalism. They were the tremendous social support of British rule in India. This type of Jamindari created by the permanent settlement. A band of comprador capitalists in the rural areas whose name was termed as Jamindars and Talukdars and Jotdars and Chakradars and Gatidars, Jamindar, Talukdar, Chakradar, Jotdar, all these dars were created, middle proprietorship in Bengal, and they are the very dangerous social support of East India Company in our country, in our Bengal. These Jamindars and its followers were nothing but the comprador capitalists in the rural India. Clear, comrade? Here in your Karnataka, southern Karnataka, these things happened. You will get it in the writings of Satyendranath Thakur. His great book is Bombay Riot.
Mumbai, right?
Yes, you will get there. You get there. S.N. Thakur was then the chief administrator of Bombay Presidency. You will get it. So, this created by the permanent settlement first. You have to keep it in mind.
Yes.
It is a reality, comrade. So, this is the last point. What is that point? I said that two changes. First changes I discussed. What was the nature of the Jomindars? You clear? What was the nature of the Jomindars? Second point, you have to deposit revenue by cash, not of kind. What is its implication? Comrades, when you will discuss economy, please use your common sense. Economy is very easy if you can use your common sense. Say you are a peasant. Say you are a peasant and you have to deposit revenue in cash. Then what to do? You have to sell your produce. Before that, no need of selling produce. I can deposit a part of my produce to the treasury. Now, I am to sell my produce. I am to convert it into money. Then I will be able to deposit revenue. Then if I am to sell, then there must be a person or system who will purchase. Without the purchasers, I can't sell. You assume a situation, thousands and thousands of peasants. Thousands and thousands of peasants with their crop, they have entered into the crop market to sell their crops. Who can buy? Who can buy? Mahesh, who can buy? Who can buy? Are the Britishers. Who can buy? Who can buy? Who can buy? Who can? Those who have money. They may be Britishers, they may be England, they may be French people, they may be Indian people, they may be Bengali people, whatever they may be, he will be able to purchase who has money in his pocket.
Yes.
First, who has money in his pocket, that man can buy. Thousands of peasants have entered into the crop market to sell their crops in order to submit revenue. Then who will purchase? Purchaser will be that people who has money in his pocket. Who has money? In Bengal, there are a class of people whom we may call usurer.
Usurer, yes.
Who we may call usurer, that means the usurer capital. There were usurer capital in Bengal. Previously, usurer capital has no practically role in day-to-day life. Very less. Very less role. Now they thought, now it is my turn. Now it is my turn. Come to me. You have to sell your produce. What is the price? What is the price? Say market price was say 1 rupee per quintal. He said, no, 1 rupee per quintal, 4 annas per quintal. 4 annas. If you like, you can sell. If you don't like, you can go. foreigners, 1/4 of the. I am the owner of the capital, user or capital. The strength of the user or capital increased manifold. They purchased all the produce at an exorbitant low rate. Or they were the owners of all the agricultural produce. And when all the produce was purchased by them, when there was no produce in the hands of the peasants, they sell those produce at an exorbitant rate. Marx said a new class of people appeared in Bengal. A new class of people which Marx said Mahajan. Mahajan. Not शाहूकार तो आपका ये हिंदी एरिया में शाहूकार, ये तो हिंदी एरिया में का बात नहीं होता है कॉमरेड, बंगाल का बात होता है। बंगाल में कोई शाहूकार नहीं था। बंगाल का कंडीशन सोचिए, हरियाणा का कंडीशन नहीं। हरियाणा कहाँ, हरियाणा तो इंडिपेंडेंट था। बात ये है, a class of people appeared which we may call Mahajan. In Bengali term, Mahajan, not great man. Not great man. Dhani people, moneyed man. They purchase at exorbitant low price, sell at exorbitant high price. And Ramesh Dutt, a famous economist, after Dadabhai Naoroji. Mind it, Dadabhai Naoroji, do you know his name?
Yes.
Dadabhai Naoroji was the first economist in India who showed how Britishers looted our country. His famous book is Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. When Marx was writing Capital, then Dadabhai Naoroji was written this book. And after that, second economist of India was Ramesh Chandra Datta. Ramesh Chandra Datta, he said that practically rural Bengal was controlled by these Mahajans. These Mahajans controlled the rural Bengal. A new type of people appeared. A new type of exploiters appeared. First, new type of exploiters, these jamindars, comprador capitalists appeared. Second, a new type of people, these Mahajans appeared. This type of people was not in India. For due to the Chirosthai permanent settlement, these two types of people, two types of class appeared in Bengal presidency. This is a completely new feature, comrade, that they are the beginners of the capitalism in Indian agriculture. They were the beginners of capitalism in Indian agriculture. And what happened after that, I will discuss tomorrow. Comrades, yesterday in the evening session, we discussed on the two important features of permanent settlement. What were those important features? One is that permanent settlement by Lord Cornwallis in 1793 created a new type of people unheard in Bengal presidency, that is comprador landowners, comprador jomindars. Comprador means those class which depends on the foreigners, foreign capital. Comprador capital is that type of capital which depends on the support of the foreign capital. That foreign capital may be foreign mercantile capital, that foreign capital may be industrial capital, that foreign capital may be imperialist capital. Be that as it may, comprador capital is that indigenous capital which depends, whose sole existence depends on the foreign capital. So the comprador capitalist force, class, is an important ally of the foreign capitalists. In this respect, these jomindars, comprador jomindars, were the important ally of the East India Company. East India Company created these foreign, these comprador jomindars in Bengal presidency and some places in Madras presidency also. Second point which we showed, that permanent settlement created another type of comprador people, that is comprador businessmen, comprador mahajans. Practically those people were the controller of Bengal agriculture at a particular period, particular time. So permanent settlement created these two types of people unheard in Bengal, comprador jomindars and comprador mahajans, comprador businessmen. Their existence of these comprador jomindars and existence of these comprador mahajans were solely dependent on the existence of the East India Company. They were the friends of the East India Company. So through permanent settlement, East India Company created a band of people influential in the rural areas by money and by power to protect the interest of the British rule in India. But one point you have to keep in mind, that only 19% area of British India was under this permanent settlement. Only 19%. But This 19% area played a very important role to strengthen, to develop the British rule in India, basing their support, collecting strength from these areas, both financially and militarily. East India Company expanded their rule. East India Company continuously extend their rule in different parts of India. And after expanding their rule, consolidating their rule in India, when Britishers felt that their rule is settled, they did not enter into permanent settlement. They abandoned the policy of permanent settlement. And they took the way of Rayotwari settlement. They took the way of Rayotwari settlement. That means Rayot means peasants. Peasants' relation with the East India Company was direct relation. Ryots means peasants must submit their revenue directly to the British exchequer in a major part of Madras presidency. Entire Bombay presidency was under Rayotwari system. But you have to keep in mind, they did not appoint any people as jamindars, but they appointed government officials to collect revenue from the peasants. And those government officials became much more powerful. You will see in Ajodha, when Britishers captured Ajodha, in the period of Sepoy Mutiny, Ajodha captured by the Britishers before Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. But you see, when Sepoy Mutiny broke, what the year? When Sepoy Mutiny broke, you know not. Very sad.
ಸಿಪಾಯಿ ದಂಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಯಾವ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ
1857. Do you know against whom the sepoys fought? Normally you know the sepoys fought against the Britishers. That is a clear thing. But why are those Britishers? Britishers were in the garrison. British army was in the garrison. But on their way to Ajodha, to Delhi, against whom the native sepoys fought? The native sepoys destroyed all the kacharis and middlemen of those areas. That means they destroyed those government officials. They destroyed those middlemen. They were indigenous in character. They destroyed all those people. Practically, Sepoy mutiny was a peasant mutiny. Sepoy mutiny is practically a peasant mutiny for two reasons. One, the men who were in the army. That means the Bengal army. That army is named as Bengal army. But the Bengalis were not in those army. The name was Bengal army, but the Bengalis were not there.
In the army.
In the army. Name was Bengal army. Who were those people? All of them were in the main 99% was peasant youth. And in the locality where the mutiny broke, peasants revolted against the East India Company rule. So in essence, Sepoy mutiny is also a peasant mutiny. And these peasants fought against the... So in riotary system, a question came, what is the Mahalwari system? Mahalwari system is to some extent minor places in Punjab, practically Punjab and Haryana. Mahalwari place. Mahalwari settlement. Mahalwari settlement. You can easily understand that. So, in the permanent settlement we are discussing in Bengal Presidency, it has created two types of people. One is comprador, zamindars. One is comprador, businessmen.
Yes.
But comrades, you can easily understand that this comprador, zamindars, and these comprador businessmen, they were not something, a social force which was static. They were not static. Day by day, they were gaining strength, and as because their strength increases, their demands to the authority also increases. Naturally, you can understand it. And another thing is there, with the passage of time, when the Britishers came to India as a businessman, they captured all the avenues of Indian system of business. They captured all the procedures of business, all the trade and commerce, etc. and etc. But is it possible that they left the entire agricultural field? Is it possible? They will not intervene in the agricultural field, in the land. Only they will capture the business and small scale industries and its produce, purchase and sell to the European market. Is it possible? No. Naturally, they will enter into the agricultural production. But at that time, that means 810, 815, 820, laws was as such that no Britishers can purchase land of India. No Britishers can purchase land in India. That was the law. That was the law. And this type of Britishers, they created pressure on the government. Why? East India Company, why change this law? This was the demand of the European mercantile capitalists changed this law. We must have the right to purchase land in India.
Yes.
This was one portion of demand raised by the European capital. First, mind it. Second, and important, another thing is there, comrade. In England, the situation also changed. In England itself. In England, up to 1812, mercantile capitalism ruled the state. In England, up to 1812,
1812.
Mercantile capitalism ruled. But slowly and gradually industrial capital came to the scene, appeared in the scene. Newer and newer and newer and newer industry grows in England, in Manchester, in so many places. Practically, the cotton industry grows enormously, and there was a fierce battle in between industrial capital and mercantile capital in England. Fierce battle was there. In England Parliament, there was a bill named India Bill, historic bill named India Bill, in 812. In 812, on India Bill, 11 days struggle took place in London Parliament. Historic battle in the history of the parliamentary democracy of England on India Bill. And at last the mercantile capitalism of England defeated. Industrial capital won. Industrial capital won. So what would happen? What mercantile capital of England did? They purchased our commodity and sell to the Europe. This was their work. So they did not crash. Up to 1812, East India Company did not crash our small scale industry. Clear? Up to 1812, East India Company did not crash our small scale industry. They maintained it, they preserved it, only they purchased it at exorbitant low price.
Exorbitant
Low price. This is their work.
Yes.
But they did not destroy our small scale industry of Bengal. In Bengal, 60% of the population was linked up with small scale industry.
Yes.
Bengal was not an agricultural state, agricultural place. Bengal was an industrial place. 60% of the total workforce work in the small scale industry. From Rajmahal to Chittagong, a European traveler wrote, if you walk on your foot from Rajmahal, that means the western part of Bengal, to Chittagong means the eastern part of Bengal. If you walk on foot, you will hear the sound, cut, 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 cut. You will hear the sound, cut, 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 cut. That means sound of the weavers. They are weaving. In every village there are people weave. 60% of the total population workforce of Bengal was involved in small scale industry. So Bengal was industrially developed place in the whole world, not in India, of the whole world. And East India Company preserved it up to 1812.
Yes.
In the meantime, in 1812, in England, this mercantile capitalism defeated, industrial capitalism won, and the interest of the industrial capital and of the mercantile capital was not same. Mercantile capitalism brought clothes from Bengal and sell to the Europe. Now the industrial capital of England, what was their interest? Their interest is to sell their own produce. To sell their own produce. So the next bill came in London Parliament. Embargo on import. They said they imposed 300% tariff on Indian import. 300% tariff on Indian import. And England export was tariff free. So what happened? Export from India stopped and import grew faster and faster and faster. So our small scale industry destroyed after 812. Clear? Clear?
Yes.
60% of people was involved in industry, small scale industry. That small scale industry destroyed. Say in case of Dhaka muslin.
Yes.
In Dhaka, 18 lakh people resides in Dhaka, nearby Dhaka, suburb of Dhaka. Within 15 years, the number fell to only 2 lakh. Where those people went? Those people went to the villages. So a huge number of people who were engaged in small scale industry, now they were forced to take the profession of the agriculturist. Heavy burden on the land increased. As a result of that, the power of the Jomindars also increased.
Yes.
Now they are at the mercy of the Jomindars.
Yes.
Clear? They are at the mercy of the Jomindars. Jomindars gave them land with an exorbitant rate. Clear?
Yes.
This was an important change of India at that time due to the defeat of mercantile capital, due to the success of industrial capital in England. This is the first great change.
Yes.
Comrades, you can easily understand that in England, cloth production increased manifold. Cloth production increased manifold, particularly in the area of Manchester. And that cloth is coarse cloth, not superfine cloth like India. Bengal cloth was
Fine.
superfine, not fine, but superfine. English industry can't produce that type of cloth.
Yes.
Can't produce that type of cloth. But for that quartz cloth they need indigo. They need indigo. And indigo is only available in eastern part of Africa. For indigo, it is necessary to plant indigo plantation, and for that, for a particular agriculture, particular atmosphere, climate is necessary, particular soil is necessary. Indigo can be produced only in the eastern part of Africa. But that production can't satisfy the need of the Manchester cloth industry. But nowhere in the world there were such a fertile land as Bengal. So English industrial capitalism tested soil of Bengal to produce indigo. In 1816, 1812, Parliament, 1816, indigo plantation started in Bengal. 1816. You see the relation.
Yes.
But up till then, no Britishers can purchase land in India. So a demand raised, allow us, and 1831 a bill passed that from now on Britishers can purchase land in India. 1831, and from 1831 big indigo company developed, and Bengal Indigo Company, they produced thousands of tons of indigo and supplied to England industrial complexes, particularly in Manchester. This was the beginning of commercial crop in India. A commercialization of agriculture started. Side by side, jute, that was also a commercial crop. And in western part of India, it started cotton production. Cotton production boom. Why? In 1860, you know, a great struggle was there in America. South versus North. Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
For Manchester industry, cotton came from America. Cotton came from America. America supplied cotton for Manchester. Where Tata developed? Where Tata developed? Tata was a cheat.
Cheat.
Yes, a cheat. As a result of the struggle between North and South in America, cotton production stopped. Then Manchester industry searched for cotton. And in India, in the western part, particularly the Ran area of Kutch, Ran area, Kutch, Ran, Gujarat included. Gujarat included. There was cotton production, but that is in limited scale. And it is very easy to import cotton from Gujarat to England, direct sea. Direct sea route is there. Bengal is much more distance. Gujarat is nearer to England, much more, practically half the distance. So, Tata was nothing but an agent of industrial capital of Manchester. And what Tata did? Tata poured stone into cotton box.
Oh, yapa.
Stone. Say 1 quintal cotton packet. 80 kg cotton, 20 kg stone. Stone, पत्थर. अरे स्टोन अब समझ नहीं, स्टोन में क्या बात है आपका? खालू बोलना होगा, स्टोन नहीं समझेंगे।
स्टोन का मेल नहीं है।
मील तो नहीं है। 20 kg स्टोन वी कैप्चर, सिंपल, इतना स्पेस, वो स्टोन डाल दिया कॉटन के अंदर, स्टोन डाल दिया। जामशेदजी टाटा, हाँ जामशेदजी टाटा, स्टोन, उन्होंने स्टोन सेल किया। 80 kg कॉटन के साथ 20 kg स्टोन डाल दिया। लेकिन मैनचेस्टर जो इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट है वो कुछ नहीं बोला। हाँ, कुछ नहीं बोला, क्योंकि तो बंद हो जाए तो कंपनी बंद हो जाएंगे। बंद हो जाएंगे तो कंपनी बंद। If they stopped sending cotton, then the Manchester industry will be closed. So they kept silent. Kept silent. If there was Sunit Kumar, no, why are you doing it? That's why Sunit Kumar can't be an industrialist. So, cotton developed in western part of India. Eastern part of India, jute and indigo. These three, Neil, a particular chemical from tree. That is indigo. That is needed for quartz cloth. Neil.
Neil is purpose है ना?
To develop new color.
Dyeing purpose. Dyeing purpose.
There was bulb type.
So, from this time, commercialization of agriculture started, comrade. From this time, agricultural produce has become not only a national produce of the national market, but it has become the produce of the international market. Indigo, jute and cotton has become the produce of the international market, not of only the national market. Character of the produce changed. Clear? Remember this point. Character of the produce changed. Then, side by side, the Mahajans in the village area, they grew stronger. But at those period, Jamindars appointed Projas, tenant. Jamindars appointed tenant. Tenant has no right to sell their property. Up till now, tenants has no right to sell their property. In the meantime, tenants are becoming more and more indebted from the Mahajans. But tenant can sell his property. That's why Mahajans can grab the land of the tenants. Tenants can sell. What does it mean? Mahajan can't grab the land of the tenants. Then Mahajan raised the slogan, gave the right of the tenants to sell their property. It is the right. Jamindari Sabha and the Mahajan Sabha unitedly raised this democratic slogan. Right for the tenants. Right for the tenants. And East India Company, then India or not under East India Company, 1858, directly Queen took over. 1858 after the Shiva Mutiny, and 1859 a law passed that the tenants can sell their property. Where? In 1859. What was its outcome? 40% tenants of Bengal then and there became the propertyless.
Tenants became property. They sold their property.
They are forced to sell. They were indebted head to foot. They were indebted head to foot to the Mahajans. These tenants were indebted head to foot. But they had no capacity to sell their land. 1859 law passed that you can sell. Then and there Mahajan pressurized, now you have the right, democratic right. Exercise democracy. That means be landless. Be landless.
Yes.
This landlessness started, comrade. Clear? This landlessness started. Hey, comrade, who told you to bring all these things? Who told you? Sit and hear. No need to take tea. I don't like in our AIKKMS meeting, never I supply tea. And here Bhagavan Reddy destroyed all these things. Who told you to supply tea? Have you seen ever in our AIKKMS meeting we supply tea? Sorry, comrade. Question is, landlessness started after 1859 when the law was passed. When the law was passed, landlessness started. And this landlessness got its momentum up to 1914. 1914.
1914, First World War.
15-16% of the total population of rural Bengal was landless up till now. Then in 1847, up till 1847, no one in India was landless. Up till 1847, no one in India, in rural Bengal or rural India was landless. After the enactment of the law of 1859, landlessness started and it continued up to 1914, and near about 15% of the total population of rural Bengal was landless. Then came 1914. Then came 1914. 1914, what happened? First World War started. First World War started. First World War started. And what was the outcome of the First World War? War needs food. War needs food. England has no plenty of agricultural land. It's a teeny island. England, Great Britain, India, it's a vast agricultural land. India can export food, rice, wheat, dal, oilseeds, potatoes, vegetables. Everything is needed for military. Everything needed for World War purpose, for the army. So the price of the food grains jumped a lot. So the Mahajans thought it is useless, it is not advisable to take land from the peasants. Rather, let the peasants remain in their land and take a share of the food
Yes.
and sell it to the market. New type of people arose in, that is sharecropper.
Sharecroppers.
Sharecroppers appeared in 1915. Before that, there was no sharecropper. Due to this new necessity of the Mahajans, they thought to grab land from the tillers is not. If we grab land from the tillers, then I am to employ people for agricultural purpose. I am to look after it. I am to take it. I am to supervise it. There are so many problems. What is the necessity?
Yes.
Let you remain in the land. Land is mine.
Yes.
Land is not yours. Land is mine. You till. 1/3 is yours, 2/3 of mine.
Yes.
This is the new. These people is nothing but the landless agricultural worker. Is it not? These people are nothing but the landless agricultural worker, these sharecroppers. Only they are receiving their wage in terms of food, produce. This is this. They are not the owner of the land. They are not the owner of the instrument. The owner of the land supplying him seeds, supplying everything, and he is receiving in return some part of the produce as wage. Then these sharecroppers are nothing but the agricultural workers.
Yes.
And you see in Bengal, in so many districts, total agricultural people, 76% in Rangpur was agricultural workers. In Jalpaiguri, 66% was sharecroppers. In Sundarban area, 80% was sharecroppers. They were the rural proletariat, comrade. In this way, rural proletariat developed in the hands of the comprador, capitalists, Mahajans, taking advantage of their prevailing situation. Now you see, Jamindars were comprador capitalists, Mahajans were comprador capitalists. The produce has become the not local but national and international. The thing is produced on the basis of the owner agricultural worker relation. Is it not? Then what do you say? Is it feudalism? What do you say? Is it feudalism or it is capitalism? Work is done, production is done on the basis of the relation between owner
And
worker relation. Nature of the produce is not only national but also international.
Yes.
The motive of production is profit.
Capitalism.
Then what is it?
Capital.
Feudalism.
Capitalism.
Capitalism. This system of production is underdeveloped in comparison to Britain, America, France and Germany. That is true. But this is capitalism. This is capitalism. What Comrade Shivdas Ghosh evaluated in 1946. In 1946, Comrade Shivdas Ghosh placed a thesis. There he described this thing. History tells us this. This is the character of Indian agriculture. Agriculture is done on the basis of the owner-wage worker relation. Motive is profit. Nature of the production is not only national but also international. So the character of the agriculture before independence attained the standard of capitalist relations. It is crystal clear as daylight, anyone can see. If anybody says that Telangana struggle is anti-feudal in nature, if anybody says that Tevaga movement is anti-feudal, if anybody says the struggle of peasants is anti-feudal, then he is misleading the peasants, misleading the struggle of the peasants. Is it not? Comrade Shivdar Ghosh pointed out that as a disciple of Comrade Shivdar Ghosh, as a follower of Comrade Shivdar Ghosh, you, the leaders of AIKKMS, of Karnataka, of Andhra, of Tamil Nadu, of Kerala, must understand it. Historically you have to understand. Basing on the thoughts of Comrade Lenin, his great book on the development of capitalism in Russia. That was the first book on this point.
The case of Marx. And the case of Marx.
Leave it. Marx did not dwell on this point. In this, Marx dwelt on the developed European countries, not on this, not on the situation of underdeveloped economy. Marx did not dwell on it. So, comrade, this is the thing. This is the thing you have to understand. This is only a discussion. I appeal to all the leaders of KKMS here, young leaders, to acquire knowledge is a struggle. Is a struggle. What do you mean by struggle? Intellectual struggle is a struggle. You have to wake up from bed, comrade. I am very much disturbed. You should wake up early in the morning at 5 or 5:30. You have to wake up. You have to read. You have to write. You have to understand things properly. But you do not read. You do not write. You are very much lazy. How could you be the leader? The people will not accept you as leader. The people will not accept you as leader.
Yes.
Accept?
Yes.
No. People is not so fool. People is not so fool. Don't think the people fool. People will not accept us as leader. People will say, yes, KKMS men are very beautiful men, honest, dedicated. They do not tell lies. They are very good people. Very good people. Sunit Kumar is a very good people. But Sunit Kumar did not write anything. He is very much lazy. And Sunit Kumar produced so many disciples in Karnataka. Just like Mahesh, Raja, Madhu, Sharan Gowda, a hand-broken comrade. I know his name. I know his name. Hand-broken. And a Kirti and other comrades. Lazy. If Sunit Kumar advised, they will collect whole day with empty stomach. They will collect. Struggle with the police. They will do all these things. But when they started reading a book,
Sleep.
just like Bosuraj. Sleep. This is, comrade, one type of mental barrenness. You are suffering from one type of mental barrenness. Our struggle is to overcome it. Your struggle is to overcome it. Daily read 2 hours. From 5:30 to 7:30 you must read. This time is for you, for reading. Read individually and then go out for work. You are not busy than me. You are not busy than me. I read and write every day. Every day. Today I also read and write. It is the task of the proletarian worker to know, if we want to guide the entire proletarian mass, all are traitors except we. All are traitors practically. They will not be able to build up movement. And in the next session we will discuss what capitalism did after independence. And in the last session we will discuss on the attack on the peasantry by the multinationals nowadays. In the last session we will discuss, and then we will discuss what KKMS, AIKKMS wants to do, what is its planning and program, and what type of responsibility bestowed on us on the basis of the teaching of Comrade SHANKAR Ghosh. Our discussion has a particular purpose. It is not discussion for discussion. So, comrade, now let us start. Definitely, you have definitely your understanding that from 1947 to 1990, this period to discuss within a very short period, it is practically an impossible task. Still, we will try to bring before you the important main features of this period. Comrade, when India achieved independence, before the formation of our organization AIKKMS, our founder of our organization, Comrade SHANKAR Ghosh, he delivered a speech on 15th of August 1947, that day when India got its freedom. On that day at Joynagar, there was a small gathering, and Comrade SHANKAR Ghosh said, from now on, a new responsibility bestowed on us by history, that is to overthrow the capitalism from state power and to build up a socialist society. Yesterday our task was to dethrone imperialism and free the country to achieve our independence. Now we have achieved, but ironically it is sad to say this is not that type of freedom which we, the freedom fighters, sacrificed their life, faced the gallows smilingly. For this type of freedom, Khudiram, Bhagat Singh and other martyrs of Indian freedom movement, they did not fight for this type of freedom, of the capitalist class to exploit the Indian proletariat, Indian peasantry. So the bounden duty on our shoulder is to overthrow this capitalism from the state power. After independence, our capitalist state first took a particular decision, that is the decision of land reform. In our freedom movement, one demand raised by the uncompromising trend of the national movement, that was land to the tillers. Netaji Bose raised this slogan, land to the tillers, and other leaders of the uncompromising trend also raised this slogan. But the Gandhite trend then opposed it, mind it. They opposed it. Gandhi and his follower, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, where was the Patel? Patel, Gaon Pradhan, Patel. Patel, you are also Patel. Oh, they opposed it. In Kashmir, Sheikh Abdullah raised this slogan, land to the tillers, in Kashmir. And the Hindu Mahasabhas of Kashmir opposed it.
Yes.
RSS opposed it.
Yes.
Shama Prasad opposed it. Savarkar opposed it. Golwalkar opposed it. In this respect, the uncompromising trend of national movement led by Gandhi and the Hinduites and the Muslim fundamentalists Jinnah and others, they also opposed it, land to the tillers. All are on the same boat, brother.
Yes.
All are on the same boat. Uncompromising trend of the national movement, Hindu fundamentalists, Hindu communal forces like RSS and Hindu Mahasabha, and the Muslim League representing the Muslim comprador capitalists and businessmen. They opposed this slogan, land to the tillers. They were in favor of zamindars, landowners. Only the uncompromising trend, Netaji Bose, Bhagat Singh and other leaders of the uncompromising trend raised this slogan, land to the tillers. But after independence, what Congress did? Nehru then was the Prime Minister of India, and Nehru had a socialist face, socialist mask.
Yes.
Comrade Shivdar Ghosh said, comrade, you please take it up. No. It is disturbing me, comrade. Please help me. Comrade Shivdar Ghosh evaluated Nehru living microphone in the hands of the capitalist class. Nehru is a living microphone in the hands of the capitalist class. He is a microphone. What Tata and Birla wants, Nehru voiced their demands. This was Nehru with a socialist mask. His 5-year plan, we will discuss 5-year plan. So, they introduced land reform, imposing land ceiling. They imposed Congress with much more vigor. Land ceiling should be there. What land ceiling is? Land ceiling, no peasant can be entitled to retain land over 75 acres. 75 acres. Individually. What does it mean? An individual may retain 75 acres of land. In our family there are 10 members. Then I can retain 750 acres of land.
Yes.
And my servant, my maid servant, sister of my wife, brother of my wife, brother's brother of my wife, all are relatives. Everybody can retain 75 acres of land. Then that means we can retain thousands and thousands of acres of land if I wish. Clear? Practically this is the buncombe of land reform.
Yes.
It is the buncombe of Congress land reform. Practically no reform was made. Congress, government in the center, abandoned permanent settlement, Jamindari system in 1953, and that introduced in 1955 in India. Jamindari system done. But the Jamindars can retain thousands and thousands of bighas of land.
Yeah.
What a minute, in Bihar, in UP, in your Karnataka, not a single bigha of land was rescued. Not a single bigha of land, acre of land was rescued. Only in Bengal, due to the presence of Comrade SHANKAR Ghosh, we started a movement. That movement name is Rescue Benam Land, Confiscate Benam Land.
Benam land. Yes.
Confiscate Benami land and introduce Sealing Act on the basis of family,
Yes.
not of individual. That was our demand. And up to 1966, we confiscated from the landowners 10 lakh acres of land. This is due to our organization AIKKMS under the leadership of Comrade SHANKAR Ghosh. In this struggle, AIKS also participated. AIKS in West Bengal, they also participated. But our role is very much important. Very much important. And all over India, only 20 lakh acres of land was confiscated. In West Bengal, it is 10 lakh, and other Bengal, India, only 10 lakh. Your Kerala did nothing. In Tivankur, Cochin did nothing. In Malabar area did nothing. In Andhra did nothing. In Karnataka, not a single plot of land was confiscated, comrade. Then Congress started Bhudan Bhudan Jagga by Vinova Bhave. This was also a bankam.
Yes.
Vinova Bhave went to the house of the Jamindars and Jamindars said, yes, take my 100 acres of land. And that land is barren land. No agriculture is possible there. This was another bankam. This was the practically land sealing act of Congress. Congress did this land sealing act. Only in West Bengal, under our leadership, on the basis of the thoughts of Comrade SHANKAR Ghosh, we launched a serious battle. Comrade, here I would like to mention one name. That name is Sheikh Abdullah.
Yes.
Sheikh Abdullah. Nowhere in our country such leader produced. Yes. Nowhere in our country such leader produced. Sheikh Abdullah from the very beginning, from 1940, raised this slogan, land to the tillers. And when Sheikh Abdullah came to power in 1948, then and there he introduced this slogan in toto. He confiscated land from the Jamindars, completely confiscated, and distributed that land among 2 lakh peasants. Among 2 lakh peasants, there were no Jamindars in the tenure of Sheikh Abdullah. And ironically, all the Jamindars were Hindus in Kashmir. Raja was Hindu, Hari Singh. 95% Jamindars were Hindus, and 95% of the peasants were Muslims.
Yes.
So, Hindu Mahasabha painted it as a communal fiat. Muslims are oppressing the Hindus. And these Hindu Jamindars came to Patel, Sebas. Patel was the king of reactionary politics. Patel supported them and ultimately dethroned Sheikh Abdullah and arrested Sheikh Abdullah. Sheikh Abdullah was the only leader in India who introduced land reform completely. No one, we know not, if Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was in power in India, what he did.
Yes.
We know not. That is not the question at all. Barring Netaji, there is no other leader in India who introduced land reform in toto other than in Kashmir, and that name is Sheikh Abdullah.
Yes.
So we have to learn the activities of Sheikh Abdullah of that period. Of that period, a Muslim majority state, there was no communal riot. When in 1946, Punjab was, a tremendous communal riot was in Punjab. Punjab is at the border of Kashmir.
Pakistan.
Kashmir was silent. There was no communal riot in Kashmir. Kashmir witnessed no communal riot. Only the Hindu Mahasabha and the Congress party initiated the communal riot in Kashmir. We have to discuss the history of Kashmir also.
Yes.
Along with it, if we मुकाम मिले तो हम करेंगे बाद में, हाँ?
Yes.
हाँ, मुकाम मिले तो हम करेंगे, हाँ, नहीं मुकाम मिले तो हम नहीं करेंगे और छोड़ दो.
नहीं मिले तो नहीं करेंगे. Yes. मौका.
हाँ. So, this is the land reform policy of Congress. Congress practically did nothing. And why Congress did not do nothing? For this, Congress want to develop the rural bourgeoisie. Congress has two policies: develop the national bourgeoisie in the industrial field and develop the rural bourgeoisie in the rural area. And to develop the rural bourgeoisie, the rural bourgeoisie must have an important share of land, and those comprador zamindars will be transformed into rural bourgeoisie near future. That's why don't touch them. Simple and eyewash of land reform. Eyewash of land reform should be there, but in actuality there should not be any land reform. And no land reform was taken by the Congress government under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru. Now, comrades, you know, taking advantage of the First and Second World War, Indian capitalist class, industrial capitalist of India, which started its journey from 1853. First industry formed in India, in Bombay, that is in the year of 1853. Second industry formed in Calcutta, Howrah district. Second industry formed. And taking advantage of the First World War and Second World War, Indian capitalism developed. And Indian capitalism attained its monopoly stage after 1930. It attained its monopoly character in 1930. And Comrade Stalin opined in his celebrated speech to the students of the Far East in 1925 that among the colonial countries, Indian capitalism is highest in development. And at the period of 1930, it attains to some extent monopolistic character. Particularly two famous houses then emerged, House of Tatas and House of Birlas. Tata Birla, we know very well. Now Adani Ambani, something like that. Then Tata Birlas.
Yes.
And these Tata Birlas submitted a planning to the then Congress President Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose in 1940, known as Tata Birla Plan or Bombay Plan. 1940. After attainment of independence, what should be the economic planning, economic stepping should be taken by the Indian state? They suggested to the then Congress President Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. You know Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose in his Tripoli Congress emerged victorious second time, defeating Mahatma Gandhi's candidate Pattabi Sitaramaiah. You know all this. After independence, Nehru took 5 years to implement that planning, Bombay planning or Tata Birla planning, and started its first 5-year plan in the year of 1952. And that 5-year plan completed in 1957. Nehru appointed a one-man committee. That committee's name is Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis Committee. Mahalanobis, a great statistician of India. He was appointed as the chairman, one-man committee, to submit its evaluation that we have expended so many money in first 5-year plan, where that money went. In first 5-year plan 52 to 57, a big amount of money was expended, and Nehru appointed a committee, PC Mahalanobis Committee, to find out where those money expended Where those money went, from whose pocket to whose pocket, Nehru wanted to know. And the PC Mahalanobis committee submitted its report in 1958. And that report said that more than 60% money went into the hands of some industrialists. Some industrialists it went. They usurped more than 60% money that expended in first 5-year plan. What was the object of the first 5-year plan? Our capitalists, sharks, they suggested to the state that we will not create any heavy industry for 2 reasons. We have not so money to expend for heavy industry. It needs a big time to have return. We have not that capacity. Let state expend money. Let state build steel, iron, coal, electricity, roadways, railways. Let state do it. Let the state take the initiative to build up all the infrastructures. That was in the Tata Birla plan. And let state supply us with cheap rate. Let state supply us electricity, cheapest rate. Let state supply us steel at the cheapest rate. Let state carry our goods from one place to one place at a subsidized rate. Let state give us tremendous subsidy. But let state expend this money, capital. That was the object of first 5-year plan. And in that first 5-year plan, Indian state, capitalist state, developed all these infrastructures. First 5-year plan, second 5-year plan, and third 5-year plan. All 3 plans were aiming at to develop the industrial infrastructure of Indian economy that Indian state did. Clear, comrades? But very fine, all clear.
Yes.
I see, without any translation, clear.
Okay. ಅಲ್ಲ
No.
ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಬೇಡ ಈ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ.
So, that was the object. The state should do, not the capitalists, not the individual capitalists, not Tata, not Birla, not Goenka, not Dalmia. They will not do. They will do consumer durables. They will do consumer durables. It needs less amount of capital. It yields quick profit. So they will do it and they will get subsidized inputs from the state. That was the object of first 5-year plan, second 5-year plan and third 5-year plan. Why, Madhu, you are so frequently going out and why comrade? In this background of national economy, you have to mind it. In this background of national economy, we are to judge the next stepping of the Indian state towards agriculture. Up to 1960, capitalists were getting no profit practically from the agriculture. Why? They are not getting any profit from land. Only they can earn some profit by buying and purchasing food grains. But at that period, Tata, Birla, Goenka, Dalmia, they were not interested to sell rice. They were not in this business. Seeds, the important component of agriculture, are produced in the hands of the peasants. Among the peasants, in the villages, seeds created. Peasants created their own seeds. Peasants do not went to the market for purchasing seeds. So no profit from the seeds. No fertilizer was needed. No pesticides were needed. No water from the ground is needed. Allah make the pani de. Allah from the sky. Rain, water falls from the sky. A famous Bengali song, Allah make the pani de. Oh Allah, give us water. Give us cloud, give us rain. So no need of water from outside earth. So practically from agriculture there was no profit of the industrial house. An industrial house, they are very much intelligent. Industrial shark, exploiters, they thought what to do. They thought one thing must be done. They raised a slogan, our country is poverty-stricken, comrade, Mr. Abdul Aziz, spokesperson of the capitalism. Assume. Don't think that Abdul Aziz is the spokesperson of capitalism. Our country is poverty-stricken. Friends, Jawaharlal raised this slogan. Jawaharlal, this very Jawaharlal, raised this slogan. Grow more. हमें खाना चाहिए. भूखे नंगे है हाय हमारा जनता. ये भूखे नंगे जनता को तो खाना देना होगा कॉमरेड, फ्रेंड्स. इसीलिए तुम तैयार करो. ग्रो मोर, ईट मोर. That was a very popular slogan at that time, in the year of 1956, 57, 58, 59. Grow more. But how to grow more? With your seeds, which you created in the countryside, peasants' own seed, can't grow more. 5 quintal rice per acre. You 4 to 5. At the best you can, if you can do, it make it to 6 quintal. We need 30 quintal. We need 30 quintal per acre. You know, how? If you apply high yielding varieties. If you apply high yielding varieties, HYV, you have to apply high yielding varieties. HYV. Who will supply high yielding varieties? Why? Ford Foundation is there. Ford Foundation will supply. Rockefeller Foundation of America will supply. With joint partnership of Mahiko Maharashtra Hybrid Corporation with Monsanto and Mahiko jointly. Monsanto, Mahiko, Maharashtra Hybrid Corporation, your neighbor.
Yes, sir.
DuPont will supply. Rockefeller will supply. Ford will supply these high yielding varieties. Don't worry. You will get that seed at a subsidized rate. and you will get 30 quintal of rice per acre. Your 4 to 5 and 30. Huh? What the peasants will think, oh, Bob, 30 in place of 4. The peasants jumped. But one point is there, high yielding varieties will not be applicable if you do not apply chemical fertilizer. Then chemical fertilizer came. Chemical fertilizer came. And the chemical fertilizer and your high yielding varieties produce the plants. That plant is not so much pest resistant. Your homemade plant is pest resistant. That's why no pesticides is needed. But this plant created by the HYP is not so much pest resistant. So you have to apply pesticides. So side by side 3 things came. HYP came, chemical fertilizer came, and pesticides came. Who will supply? Multinational company, capitalists, imperialist class will supply. For the first time, Indian peasants jumped into the lap of the capitalist class. Jumped into the lap of the capitalist class. And that was, comrade, that was the great grain revolution. That was the great green revolution. 1960 onward. 60 onward. But from where I will get this amount of money? I am to purchase seeds, I am to purchase fertilizer, I am to purchase pesticides. From where I will get some money? Don't worry, I am here. NABARD was created at that period. NABARD was created, and village after village, peasants cooperative formed. Peasant societies and cooperatives will formed. Don't worry, be a member of the peasant cooperative, take loan from that cooperative. Clear? NABARD formed, cooperative formed. All these things taken together is green revolution appeared. And what was the character of this green revolution? Whom it helped? Green revolution helped whom? Helped the capitalist class of home and abroad, both. 30 quintal for first and second season. In the third season it is 25. In the fourth season it is 20. In the fifth it is 18. In the sixth it is 16. It diminished. Your chemical fertilizer destroys your fertility of land. Your pesticides destroyed all the insects, all the useful insects, destroyed all the useful insects. In Bengal, you see, you don't take fish. We the Bengalis take fish. I am a man of Bengal. In our childhood, we took daily 3 to 4 items of fish. Bengal was full of fish. Now there is no fish. No fish. Pesticides destroyed everything. Everything. Pesticides destroyed insects. No need of any urea. a particular type of nail. Nail means kecho in Bengali. They have turned the soil. Turned the soil.
Turn this side.
Huh?
Oh, Ereulana.
Huh.
Earthworm.
Earthworm. Earthworm, yes. Turn the soil. And that did operate to mix nitrogen in the soil. No, there was no need of urea for nitrogen. All this destroyed. You are completely dependent on fertilizer. And this chemical fertilizer destroyed the fertility of the soil. The land has become barren. The atmosphere became polluted. In Punjab there is a train, its name is cancer train. Do you know? Cancer train. In Punjab there is a train named cancer train.
Cancer.
Huh? All these devastating things happened due to this green revolution. This green revolution is destroyer of our atmosphere, climate, heritage, fertility, and what not. And it gave us nothing practically. It destroyed the taste also. Say tomato. Nowadays taste of tomato and taste of tomato before 30 years is dramatically different. Taste of cauliflower 30 years before and taste of cauliflower nowadays. You easily can taste of brinjal, taste of potato, taste of meat also, taste of meat also, gun. He destroyed so many things. That means capitalism destroyed by introducing green revolution. Green revolution only helped the capitalist class to suck profit from our soil, destroying our atmosphere and everything. This green revolution introduced 1960 and continued up to 1980. 1980. Comrades, let us start. Comrades, in the previous session, in the last session, we discussed up to green revolution. Why green revolution? And in the period of green revolution, what was the condition of Indian capitalism? That I also told. At that period, in the 50s, in the 60s, Indian capitalism and its development was up to that mark where they prayed to the state to create heavy industry. State should take the responsibility of the heavy industry and they will produce consumer durables in the main. It doesn't mean they did not even venture to create one big industry. That is not so. Tata Steel was there at that period. But this is an exception. In the main, This was their policy. In this policy, in this state of development, they introduced Green Revolution, exploited Indian land and agriculture for their capitalist profits seeking system. But in the meantime, situation changed. Development of capitalism in India reached a much more higher stage. That means capitalism in India acquired the character of imperialist character. Indian capital reached the stage of imperialist capital. Industrial capital and bank capital merged, creating finance capital, created financial oligarchy, started to export capital in different parts of the globe. In the lifetime of Comrade Shivdar Ghosh, in the last part of his life, he also mentioned that Indian capital is exporting capital in the Southeast Asian countries, in Latin America, and even in USA itself. That Communist Shivdar Ghosh told. He told imperialistic features are developing. Communist Shivdar Ghosh died in the year of 1976. After that, Indian capitalism became a full-fledged imperialist state. Indian state become a full-fledged imperialist state, much powerful. Earlier they said, "Do you please build up all these sectors, some sectors master should be preserved for small scale industry." There is a provision of Monopoly Restriction Act in India. The act was there to restrict monopoly in India. Monopoly Restriction Act. All these things are there. But now Indian capital started to raise this voice for the development of capital. They don't say for the development of capital. They said for the development of the country. They say for the development of the country. Country means capitalist. Country means not Raja, not me, not you, not the peasants, not the workers, not the lower middle class, but the monopoly house. They are the country. For the development of the country, lift all barriers, lift Monopoly Restriction Act, lift that provision that this sector is restricted, preserved for the small scale industry. What is the necessity of that? Now we are quite capable enough to run all the sectors. Yes, when we are children, you embraced me as because I was not able to walk. Now I am a youth. If the mother, capitalist state, should you still carry me on your shoulder? Put me on the ground. I can walk of my own. So give me what you build. Give me the sectors, industrial sectors, give me. Clear? This is privatization. This is privatization. Once upon a time, they nationalized. In 1965, 66, 60s, 70s, they nationalized. Indira Gandhi nationalized. Indira Gandhi nationalized banks. Indira Gandhi nationalized industries. In the last portion of 1960s and 70s, now they are then the protagonists of nationalization. Indira Gandhi became hero. Why? By nationalized, I am making development of the country. Nationalization for the development of the country, Indira says. As because the then period nationalization was in favor of the
Monopolies.
capitalist class, monopoly class. And now that monopoly class developed a bit, reached a higher stage. Now they say, don't nationalize what is already nationalized.
Denationalized.
Have denationalized that, privatized that, give that sector to me. Two types of privatization. One is already built up factories, give it to me. Another, not a particular factory, but a whole sector. Whole sector. Whole sector.
Insurance sector, banking sector.
Insurance sector, banking sector,
Railways.
railways, education sector,
Yes.
health sector. All these are sectors. Privatize all these things. In what conditions they said it? When the capital in our country reached its imperialist stage. Reached its imperialist stage.
Full scale.
Full scale imperialist stage. When it reached, then it raised this slogan, nationalize, don't nationalize, privatize everything, privatize everything. First, they said, what is the necessity of service sector? Service. Electricity, nothing but the service. Education is nothing but the service. Health is nothing but the service. Why? Service means no profit. Service means service. No question of any profit. Electricity sector was a service sector. Health sector was a service sector. This is for to serve the people. From there, no profit. They said, why? Why? Commercialize everything. We have to gain profit from it. Change your age-old long outlook. What the development of national capital, what the development of national economy, what the development of the country. With Indian, we will be the supreme in the world. That's why we have to commercialize everything. Say America became world power as because it commercialized everything. See, Britain is the superpower. Why? It commercializes everything. We should follow their path. So commercialize everything. This was their slogan. So commercialization. And we said, previously we said, they said, Indian imperialist, ideologue, Indian capitalist, monopolist, ideologue, said, previously we thought our country is our country. Our country is our country. Huh? Nationalism.
Yes, nationalism.
Nationalism. This is my country. We have to protect our economy by tariff. This is our market. We have to protect our market. They said this is a very bad outlook, orthodox outlook, reactionary outlook. Nowadays, whole world is my world. Whole world is my market. Not Indian market is the market of Indian imperialist. African market is also my market. Arab market is our market. American market is our market. Southeast Asian market is our market. Our market is everywhere. Indian market is nothing but the integral part of the world market. We have to see market in this manner, in this fashion. We have to see the market in this fashion. So we have to adapt a new policy, give and take policy. We have to adapt a new policy, give and take policy. America will come and I will go. Britain will come and I will go. I will allow America to enter. I will allow China to enter. Understand, comrade? I will allow Russia to enter. I will allow Germany and Japan to enter. And at the same time I will go outside. I will do joint ventures with them. Company of Japan company, Maruti Suzuki. What is it? Maruti Suzuki. Maruti is Indian, Suzuki is Japan. Maruti Suzuki. Joint venture with them. We have to be able enough to compete in the international market. This is the cry of newly emerged Indian monopoly, Indian imperialism. Indian imperialism, in a sense, in its strength, in the world, 5th or 6th position. This Indian imperialist class. So they adopted the policy internationally, give and take policy. Give and take policy. In a fight with America, America is much more powerful than India. If we share in between these two, America will take 70% and I will take 30%. This is the normal thing. I am a player in the world market. In our adjustment, America will take 70%, I will take 30%. This is the order of the day. So give and take policy at the particular juncture of history. Indian capitalism practiced and practicing and will practice in future in this way. This is the condition of Indian imperialism nowadays. And in its impact on Indian agriculture, we have to judge its impact of Indian agriculture viewing this international scenario. Comrade, in this scenario, how this policy to maintain the interest of Indian imperialism. Mind it, it is not Indian capitalism. Now we are living under Indian imperialism. India is an imperialist country, not only a capitalist country. We have to bear it in mind. India is now an imperialist country. So, this Indian imperialism, how it behaves with the peasants and agriculture, we have to see. But we have not enough time. It needs minimum 2 days. Minimum it needs 2 days to explain the behavior of Indian imperialism in all fields. It minimum 2 days. We have 6:30 time
Yes.
and last half an hour for Comrade Satyavanji. And that will be translated by Comrade.
अर्धा घंटे, काल घंटे.
That is 45 minutes, you think.
Yes.
That means 5:30. I have at my disposal only 40 minutes. So, I will speak on this point only 15 minutes. I will show you only one sector. Only one sector I will show, and after that, on that scenario, what is the task of AIKKMS and planning, I will briefly place before you. That sector is seed sector.
Seed sector.
Seed sector. Similarly, in land, fertilizer, pesticides, irrigation, marketing, in all fields, the same scenario is applicable. The same scenario is applicable. Each and every field we have to know, and KKMS will publish a booklet within 2 months describing all the things, and Comrade Abdul Aziz will be the responsible person to write that booklet. Do you agree? Yes. Raise your hand. Comrade Abdul Aziz, you raise your hand. He also raised his hand. He will be the responsible person. He is a very knowledgeable comrade. Taking help from this comrade, he had to prepare this thing, different sectors. Already he wrote a good article on seed sector, Comrade Abdul Aziz wrote. Now after it, today night we will sit with him. I will only bring to your notice the seed sector. What Indian government's policy was in the period of Green Revolution. Indian state formed National Seed Nigam.
Yes.
National Seed Nigam. And following Central Seed Nigam, there were Nigams in different states. State Seed Nigam, Punjab Seed Nigam, Haryana Seed Nigam, West Bengal seed nigam, Kerala seed nigam, UP seed nigam, state seed nigams were there. And the total requirement of seeds of Indian farmers, these nigams satisfied mostly something like 80-85%. There was no private intervention in this seed field. But from 1986, scenario changed. Here also privatization started. Slowly and gradually the nigams were vanished, dismantled. Central seed nigam gone, state seed nigam gone, and slowly and gradually the multinationals of different brand with joint collaboration with Cargill, DuPont, ITC, Geneca, etc., Monsanto, all these companies with joint venture with the Indian monopoly house, they entered into the seed market, and slowly and gradually seed sector has been totally privatized. Totally privatized. Privatized, not paralyzed. Privatized. And the last seed bill, which BJP government placed in the parliament, what is the essence of that seed bill? Essence of that seed bill is, in a word, give all sorts of opportunities for national and international multinationals. That is the main thing. There are so many tidbits. You may read the article published in the PRA. You will get some glimpse of that. So seed, and what is the importance of seed? Why seed is the basic component of agriculture after soil and climate. After soil and climate, you can establish a factory anywhere, but you can't produce a particular agricultural produce anywhere. In Haryana, Rohtak, Satyabhaji can't produce an orchard of grapes. No. In Bengal there will be no apple. In Bengal, except Darjeeling, there will be no apple or orange. As because for agricultural produce, soil and climate is very much necessary. After soil and climate, seed is the most important component in the field of agriculture. The force that controls seed practically controls everything. The force who controls seed practically controls everything. The quality of seed determines what type of fertilizer is necessary, what type of pesticides is necessary, how much water is necessary. Everything, the quality of seed determines. So a particular company, multinational, if they can control everything. Nowadays what you see, say high yielding varieties. Farmers are cultivating with high yielding varieties. Earlier times, seed from seed was possible. And that was the usual practice. Yes. Seed from seed. Yes. Seed from seed. Nowadays, no. Seed from seed is not possible.
Now it is not possible.
Now it is not possible. Why? They created that seed produced in such a way that you will not get same type of yield.
Yes.
This is the mechanism, scientific mechanism created by them. Scientific mechanism, with the help of science and laboratory, they created such type of thing. So for every season, you have to go to the multinationals and you have to purchase the seed. You have to purchase the same amount of fertilizer. You have to purchase the same amount of pesticides and more. So the peasants are arrested. Chained. Not arrested, but yes. He knows English better than me. Chained. This is the correct word. Chained. Chained by whom? Chained by multinationals. Multinationals doesn't mean foreign multinationals. Multinationals means Indian multinationals. Oh, Indian multinationals is not Indian.
Yes.
Indian multinationals is not Indian. A foreign multinationals is not American.
Need not be.
Multinationals has no nation. Multinationals has no nation. To a multinational, the world is their world is their sector to exploit. To an American multinational, American people is a subject of exploitation, and an Indian people is also a subject of exploitation. That is the thing. So they captured, and now they are trying to introduce genetically modified seeds. Not high-yielding varieties. The era of high-yielding varieties is gone. They are trying to introduce genetically modified seeds. A high-yielding varieties, that is cross-pollination.
Yes.
Cross-pollination. But genetically modified seeds is not that. You may use a gene from a mosquito. A gene from a mosquito can create fish, can create apple. That is genetically modified. Now they are trying to introduce genetically modified seeds in all sectors. GM seeds. In Maharashtra, why peasant suicide is so much in Vidarbha area of Maharashtra? 6 districts in Maharashtra is called Vidarbha.
Yes.
Why there are so much suicide? Due to the cotton. They produce cotton. They produce genetically modified cotton and brinjal. And its cost is very much high. Multinational corporation propagated to use this seed and you will get 10 times profit from it. They used that, but they did not get dead burden on their shoulder, and as a result of that they committed suicide. This is the thing. Now, soybean. In America there is genetically modified soybean. American people is not purchasing that soybean. Soybean. They are more health conscious. More health conscious than us. We have no health consciousness. We have no health consciousness. No health consciousness. A Shoshi has health consciousness? No. No health consciousness. Sunit Kumar, no health consciousness.
They're original people of India.
The original people of India. Indian proletariat. So, American people is not purchasing soybean. So they are trying very much to export that soybean to India and African countries. Indian people, life of the Indian people have no value. Eat soybean, eat. And genetically modified soybean, what will be its impact on the human being, human health? Nobody knows. Genetically modified soybean. They are trying to introduce. And if they are successful to replace high-yielding varieties with genetically modified seeds, then entire agriculture will be guided and controlled by genetically modified seeds. The pollen of that genetically modified plant will spread everywhere. Automatically it will make pollination, and the entire earth will be pollinated by these genetically modified things. What a dangerous thing capitalism, imperialism is trying to bring. What a dangerous thing. Their profit destroys our environment. Their profit-making tendency is destroying our soil, our earth, our right to eat, our right to breathe. They are destroying everything. This is one aspect of the attack. They are attacking us not only economically, comrade. Say a market reform bill. Market reform bill nowadays they are trying to introduce in India. It's a big name. In essence, it is market reform bill. What is that? They will give 7,000 mandis to the multinationals, 38,000 bazaars, markets to the multinationals. They will control everything. That is their policy. That is their policy. Give everything. That is the character of the state. That's why Comrade SHANKAR Ghosh said earlier, what is this state? State is the subservient to Indian monopoly house. Monopoly house is the master. State is the servant. Monopoly house, imperialist capital, is the master, and the state is their servant. So how could you change this system? By changing government? Government is a tiny part of a state. Government is a tiny part, insignificant part of the state. State is 1,000 times powerful than the government. Then how could you change this system by only changing the government? You can't. So this is an attack on the people. Capitalists want everything. They want land, they want jungle, they want river, they want mountain, they want hills, and they want everything. Everything is ours. Says the capitalists, everything is ours. Says the multinationals. Do you know 16% of oxygen is created in Amazon jungle. 60% of oxygen of the whole world is created in the Amazon jungle. India is an oxygen deficient country. Do you know what does it mean? Say, we the Indian people will inhale Indian oxygen. If it is so, then minimum 20 crore people will die for want of oxygen. India and China is oxygen deficient country. Oxygen we produce is not enough for the people to inhale of India. Amazon forest produced 60% oxygen. 16, 16, 16%
Amazon.
of oxygen. That's because Amazon forest is a huge forest. And what American, French banana companies are doing there? American banana companies and French banana companies is competing with each other, and they are destroying jungle. They are destroying jungle. Already 7 to 8% jungle is completely destroyed by the American banana company and French banana company. This is their role. They are polluting everything, destroying everything. Destroying everything. This capitalism, imperialism. This is their role nowadays. This is their role nowadays. So this portion I like to conclude. So you can easily understand what great, what tremendous attack imperialist capitalist class, whole imperialism, capitalism, Indian imperialism is a part of that, is waging against the humanity, against the working class, against the peasantry. You can easily understand.
Yes.
One thing I want to tell you, comrade. One thing. Our evaluation and assessment may be right. Our ideology may be right. Not may, our ideology is definitely right. Why so? Why so? Why may? Our ideology is right. Correct. Comrade Shivdas Ghosh showed us the right path. How to fight, how to organize class and mass struggle. He showed class struggle of the workers and peasants who will dethrone the capitalist class from the state power. He taught us to develop class struggle, as a result of which Indian revolution will take place one day. And in this revolution, along with the working class, Indian peasantry has a tremendous role. We are a country where 70% people is directly or indirectly linked up with agriculture. So without peasantry, without the peasants' fight, no revolution can take place. And Comrade Shivdas Ghosh also said, when thousands and thousands, millions and millions revolutionary fighter will come from the peasants and workers, then and then only Indian revolution will take place. Before that, your dream of revolution will be in dream. It will not materialize practically. So, that's why he formed AIKKMS, to perform this historic duty. Again I say, our ideology is correct, but without power, without adequate strength to materialize it, our ideology can't create anything. Communist Stalin said, after Russia's revolution, that your ideology is not enough. Ideology is not enough. Correctness and incorrectness of the ideology and political line. It is a very important thing indeed. But another factor is definitely indeed important. That is your strength. How far you will be able to rally the masses behind your ideological line. Behind your ideological line. That is a very important thing. And comrade, for that purpose, we, All India Committee of AIKKMS, has taken a definite planning. But I know that our leaders are not very conscious about that planning. In the last meeting, which was held in the month of June 2025, we gave the responsibility of Karnataka State AIKKMS, Andhra State AIKKMS, Kerala State AIKKMS, Tamil Nadu State KKMS, definite responsibility. All India Committee gave, in which you are also a party. Nothing was imposed. Nothing was imposed. We collectively took the decision. Is it not?
Yes.
We collectively took the decision. It is not the fact that Satyavanja SHANKAR GHOSH unilaterally, just like a tyrant, imposed upon us this decision. That was not the case. We evaluated our performance. We evaluated what we did, what we could not do. All this we evaluated, and after that we settled that Karnataka AIKKMS will perform this duty. We set a goal in front of Karnataka State KKMS. We set a goal before Andhra Pradesh KKMS. We set a goal before Kerala State KKMS. We set a goal before Tamil Nadu State KKMS. I know not what is its position. I know not. But I am sure and certain that the leaders of Karnataka, they are not fully aware of their responsibility. It doesn't mean that they did nothing. That is not my point. But they are not conscious fully what their responsibility is. Tomorrow we will evaluate. Tomorrow will be a meeting of evaluation. Task of Comrade Bhagavan Reddy is to prepare. Coming from All India meeting, Karnataka State Committee of AIKKMS sat and prepared for themselves a target, district-wise. Am I wrong? You send me. On the basis of their own planning, tomorrow we will sit, and you should place your position, you should place your report, and you should place your target. We have to fulfill this target, comrade. Why? You have to understand the importance of this target. Within 2 to 3 years, we have to develop our organization at least 3 times of the present position. At least 3 times. Why? It is sure and certain, comrade, a big peasant movement is coming. A big peasant movement is coming throughout the country. Millions and millions of people, peasants and agricultural workers, they will be on the street. If we can develop our organization, If we can develop state leadership, able state leadership, if we can develop able district leadership, if we can develop able block and taluka leadership, if we can develop village committees, if we can develop thousands of volunteers, then we can perform, shoulder an important responsibility of that movement, and we can come to the fore. That may change the scenario of the mass movement class struggle of our country. Do not understand it. You see, what was the position of KKMS before 2020? We are a tiny force. Practically, we have no importance nationally. We have no importance. I was the General Secretary. I know what our Bhubaneswar conference was. You all participated in that. He was the President and I was the General Secretary. Elected. Satyavanji knows what is what, I know what is what. Practically no organization. 2016 month of October, national conference held. Then we took a program. We tried. In this situation, Delhi movement happened. In the month of November 26, 2020. Satyavanji then and there participated in the struggle. Our comrades participated. Our comrades of Haryana participated. And they played a very beautiful role. And in the month of 10th December 2020, I went to Singhu border. Initially, what was our position? Initially, practically we have no position at all in the movement. But gradually taking participation in it, sincerely, with all our dedication, slowly and gradually, now we are a big force in the SKM, Sanjukta Kisan Morcha. Big force. In Sanjukta Kisan Morcha, it is admitted by all that there are two All India organizations. One is AIKKMS of CPIM, another is AIKKMS of AIKKMS. Another is AIKKMS. Leader of AIKKMS, Krishna Prasad, frequently mentioned our name. The AIKKMS is a All India organization. And that is really so. Really so. So, we have now a big position within SKM. But our comrades are not aware of it. Our Karnataka comrades took any initiative to be a leader of SKM. Others invited them and they joined. Bhagavan Reddy, this is the task of Bhagavan Reddy to join. And Sunit Kumar, his psychology is this, that I am not with the state KKMS, so I am not in the KKMS. He forgot that he is the vice president of the AIKKMS, All India body. Because Sunit Kumar can take initiative in the SKM, Karnataka chapter. Bhagavan Reddy can take, but they will not take. They will not take. Bhagavan Reddy will not take. Sunit Kumar will not take. S.B. Mahesh thought that this is the subject matter of my big brothers. And Govind, I am living in Bellary, far, and Raja, so a hand-broken comrade. All of this type of. Be a leader of SKM in your district first. I want to see within 6 months you will be the leader of SKM of your district. Tomorrow we will discuss. Invite everybody. You convene them. Develop yourself as the leader of SKM. Clear, Govindo? Raja? You do. You? Lokesh? Lokesh is very intelligent. Very intelligent. Intelligent, a man of Naini to. He's a friend of Naini. Friend of Naini. And he knows very well how to bypass. With less power. How is Girish? This Girish. It's Andhra. Girish has become the leader of Andhra scheme. Girish has become the leader of Andhra scheme. And if not Govindarajan and surely tries, then they will be the leader of Tamil Nadu scheme. They can. And in Karnataka, at least in 8 districts, our comrades must and should be the leader of SKM. And Bhagavan Reddy and Sunit Kumar, I am excluding Shashidhar, excluding for so many reasons. These two must and should be the leader of Karnataka SKM. They have to join in the Delhi meeting. Some people from Karnataka, Noor Sridhar, having no organization here. They go, Darshan Pal is there, his mentor, tall talks,
Only tongue is there.
tall talks, and he is the representative of Karnataka, having nothing. And Abdul Aziz will not go to Delhi SK meeting as because money is required. This is the attitude.
He has started.
Abdul Aziz is very much fast. Our question is, we must and should be the leader of SKM because in the coming days, SKM is a platform of peasants. SKM is a platform of the peasants. You have to acknowledge it. And Satyavanji is unquestionable leader of SKM.
Yes.
When Satyavanji was molested in Odisha,
Yes.
what he find? Every leader of SKM rose. They protested. They contacted with the Chief Minister of Odisha. IG, great pressure. Satyavanji, leader of SKM and president of AIKKMS, they said in this way, we have 16 protest letters which are in our hand. They contacted me at night 1. None of our leader from any state contacted us. But SKM leaders contacted us. Bhagavan Reddy did not contact us. ठीक है तो है शंकर दा है वो लेके देखेंगे यही है उनका psychology. So we are lagging so many fields. This should be eradicated within 6 months. Within 31st of May, comrade, you have to fulfill your promise at any cost. You have to work hard day and night. You have to work hard day and night. Dada, I can't do it due to these problems, I don't like to hear problems. People will not hear your problem. People will say, oh Govind, your problem? Go. I will choose my own leader. I will choose my own leader, Govindo, Raja, Mahesh, Bad. I will choose our own leader. People will choose his leader. People will not wait for the leaders as because people will fight. You see, Supreme Court passed an order at 12:30. And lakhs and people in Rajasthan came out in the street without waiting for Satyavanji. When Satyavanji will give us call, then we go. Oh, who is Satyavanji? Huh? They came forward. And Supreme Court forced to retreat. Supreme Court forced to retreat. Huh? That was the condition.
4:30, same day.
Same day. Within 3 hours, comrade. And you, Sushidhar, what will you do? No, comrade, we can't take decision alone. Collectively we have to move. Then we have to give a circular meeting. 12:30, we take meeting. After 3 days meeting, in the meeting it will be decided that after 7 days we will organize a rally. That is, in the coldest period it is all right. But in a period of movement and struggle, people will not wait for you. People will not wait for you. People will not wait for Shiv Prakash. People will not wait for me. Wait for Satyavanji or Aziz or Bhagavan Reddy or Sunit Kumar or Shashidhar. People will come out. The task of the proletariat, the task of the peasant leader nowadays, to take preparation continuously. Where there is a struggle of the masses, I am there. I am there. Meeting or collective functioning, leave it aside. After that, collective functioning hoga. Huh? Lenin participated in the revolutionary movement 11th January. And 11th January, thousands and thousands of people came out of the street. And Stalin on the street, 5 to 10 minutes after, he did not waste. He did not wait for committee decision. That is the working pattern of a revolution. Be with the masses. Comrade Shivdar Ghosh said, be with the masses. Always be with the masses. Try to understand their mood. Mix with the masses to understand their mood. What is the actual desire of the people? And trust on the people. Trust. Trust on the people. Trust on the peasantry. That is the task of the AIKKMS leaders and cadres. So you have to fulfill the promise you made. And next year, your quota will be double. And you have to fulfill that. You have to develop your power, energy. Lokesh? Will you do? Or lag behind? If you lag behind, people will throw. People will not wait for any party, any organization. As because people will fight. People will fight. And you have to understand, all over the world, people are fighting. Can you imagine in America, some days before 70 lakh people were on the street. 70 lakh people are in the street.
Crore.
70 lakh.
Almost 1 crore.
Huh?
Yeah.
This is the condition. Revolution is approaching throughout the world nearby. People will build up its own organization. This is according to Marxism. Marx said, people is the creator of history. People will create its own hero. If Govind and B.S. and Raja and others, they can develop themselves as the hero of the peasant movement in the country, people will embrace you. Otherwise, people will put you into the dustbin. That is your fate. You will see within a very short period, you will see how people is fighting. So comrade, without any hesitation, take preparation, proper preparation, without wasting a single moment. This is not a time for idle chatting. This is a time for action. This is a time for do within the people. And you go. We must go. We the leaders of the AIKKMS, we must go. That is the call of the hour. That is the call of Comrade SHANKAR Ghosh. And I think here our South Indian leaders and comrades, we comply with this situation. Inqilab Jindabad, AIKKMS Jindabad, long live our great leader of the proletariat, Comrade SHANKAR Ghosh, long live.